Welcome to the mastering portion, mastering part, mastering video. How to master your beat entirely. That way it sounds the same on all devices. If you want to check out the mixing, the structure, and the effects portion of this series, the video links will be in the description and also attached to the video. Now, I'm gonna try to make this simple, not complicated, because it is simple and it can be simple and not complicated. So, how I would usually master my tracks if I decide to, because not in all situations I will decide to master my track if I mixed it well. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to slot one, we're gonna add a Maximus, and then with the Maximus, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off, and then I'm gonna play the beat for you to hear. Alright, so now that you heard it, none of the sounds are passing 0 dB. I'll play a little gist. Everything is equalized pretty okay, but even though it's not passing 0 dB, it's not getting close to 0 dB. So that's another problem too. It could be the sounds could be mixed, and they can sound good together, but they could also still be too low. So let's go ahead and get into the Maximus, turn it on, and break it down. So we're going to just play the lows for right now. So you hear the bass, you can hear a little bit of some of the mid sounds like the perks, the tone. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the band, and we're going to turn down the lows in the spectrum. That way we only hear the low end of all the sounds. Turn up this right here, which is, I guess this is Maximus's equalizer for just the low portion of the spectrum. So you want to create like I don't want to say rainbow, but you want to create a slope. We're doing some algebra here. You want to create a slope. So do like that. That way the low end is punching and it's not rising. And then we want to mono it. And then we'll unsolo it and hear it all together. So if you have headphones on, you can definitely hear the difference in the headspace and the room, that how much room the 808 is taking up when it hits. It's like it fills up. So I mean, I technically don't like that too much, so we're gonna turn that down a little bit more. That way it's not too noticeable. Alright, so that sounds good. So let's move on to the mids. Now you hear a little bit of that 808 thump, but that's like the low mids. We'll go to the highs. Turn it down to like 1,000. I always try to leave it at like 1,000 because that's the mark between the mids and the highs. You go any farther than that, you're adding the mids to the highs. You go any higher than that, you're adding the mid. My bad. You go any lower than that, you're adding the highs to the mids, and vice versa. So you want to leave it at 1,000. listen to it a little bit. You could probably turn it up a little bit. And that way, let's say if you did create a trap beat that was really like punchy with the kick versus the 808, and you turn up the mids, that kick will really pop, and then the 808 will just be nice and subtle. That way it's not really clashing. Or if you have an 808 that's pretty punchy, you turn up the mids, and you can turn down the lows with the master. Even though you probably mixed it differently, it'll be a nice relationship between both of them. So I think that sounds pretty good. I don't want to have to put it in mono, so we'll move on to the highs. Now you can still hear the kick a little bit in the highs. So if that's something that you don't like, you can always go back to your mixer. You could just take out the highs and the kick. But I don't want to do that, so we're gonna leave it as is. And there's really not too much you need to do for the highs, unless you want to turn it up and give it more of a crispy sound to it. If you feel like your track is too dark and too moody, you can turn it up and give it some more sharpness. We'll leave it like that, and then listen to it fully. But if you look now at our master channel, we are very much close to 0 dB. And if it ever, yes, as you can see, it tries to go above 0 dB, but adding the Maximus will definitely just keep it from passing it. Anything past 0 dB, it'll go to 3, and anything below 0 dB is 3, 6, 9, 12, so on and so forth. But from listening to it all together, I think I want to take some of that low out. I think it sounds good like that. That's simply how you can master your beat. That way it sounds good on all devices. I think that's the more important reason as to why you should master your beat, so that it correlates with every place you go to play it or demonstrate it. If you felt like this video was helpful, please, actually my bad, one last thing before we go. Within this Maximus plugin, you want to click the drop down and you want to change the linear phase filters. This is something that I've done since the older FL Studios. Is very helpful. It's probably more of a secret than it is known, but you want to definitely turn on the linear phase filters, because within each spectrum, from the lows, the mids, the highs, they are their own individual relationship, so that we just mix them, right? And now they're pretty much everywhere. They're not linear to each other. Turning on this knob will make them linear to each other, and also keeping their individuality. So you want to make sure you cut that on, and then your mix will sound a lot different with the effects that you just adjusted. But if you like this video, please feel free to drop a comment. If you like this series, let me know if you made it to this video from the beginning to end, or if you had to go back and look up some things. As always, everything will be in the description, a link to the video. Please check out the Discord. I appreciate everybody that views this. It'll be very helpful.